Hello. So now we're going to go ahead and do our test. All of these breakers are off. We're turning off our house power. Dang. Now all of these breakers are on. These are the new 120 breakers for the transformer test. We put in 8 new breakers down there. This is what's hooked up to them. We have a wet dry vac, table saw, miter saw, a heater, air compressor, router, and that's a router table, DeWalt router, and a metal chop saw. So the heater is in here. We'll turn that up on high, that way it stays on. And that's showing our usage. Okay, go turn the table, or the wet dry vac on first. Okay. Huh? The vacuum, the big orange one right there. All right. All right, let's do the table saw. Hey, table saw, it's the one over there. Okay. The miters, oh, you have to hold that one on. Do the air compressor. That's putting us up around 30 to 35%. Let's check our temperature. That puts us up around 116 degrees. So turn on that router table over there. The router table. Yep. Okay. Now the router is over there on top of the table saw. The button. No, up here. Right by your thumb. Is it on? Let's see how we're doing here. Now let's raise it up to about 115 degrees. Everything's still powered on. Let's turn up the temperature on this. Okay. So we have everything on except for the metal chop saw and the miter saw. Go pull both of the triggers and you gotta hold that. Get them both turned on. You have to, yep. So we're up to around 60%, and we have everything on right now, and we're only running somewhere around 50%. Let's see. And we're staying at 112 degrees. So, as you can tell, it's doing pretty good. That's a lot of power running through there. Now it's showing about 53%. A lot more than what this is supposed to be able to handle. It's down to 110 degrees. So, how is the auto transformer doing all that? That's what I'd like to know. It's not supposed to be able to do that much power. Those are all 120 volt loads, and they're all still on. The heater kind of kicked off. Let's see if we can add something else to it. It should have. All right. So we just turned on another router. We have 3 routers going now, and that router doesn't use as much power as the ones outside. Keep them on. Okay. What? Yeah, keep going. We're only running about 60%. We have a sander, 3 routers, a chop saw, a radial arm saw, a wet dry back, a table saw, air compressor, and let's turn this heater up. The heater's on also. So I got to turn the sander off in order to do this, but this is not heating up. I guess that's the best way to put it. Had to turn the sander off. We'll take another look at the temperature on the auto transformer. About 115 degrees. The key to this is how you have your wiring and how you balance your loads. Okay? Alright, turn them off. You turn yours off. Let's unplug that. Turn them all off. You got it all turned off? Alright. So we did all 8 of these, plus we did a bonus little sander and a smaller router, and that put us at 70% of our power. That's with 3 of these GROWATT inverters, and the SolarEdge the transformer, it never got above 120. So we'll go ahead and turn these breakers off. Alright, now breakers off, breakers off, breakers off. Okay. So, what happens if that thing shuts off? If our transformer actually shuts off, what will happen? Oh shoot! I left one of the breakers on. And I turned the transformer off. I wonder if we fried that. Did we just fry that heater? I left that heater turned on. Okay. So let's go ahead and check this. We'll go ahead and flip our transformer back on. Whoa! Did you see that? It went from red back to green. Let's let you see that. Oh, this didn't stay on. Oh, shoot, it didn't fry. Let's set that on high. Okay. Now that we have the heater back on, let's do that again. And watch that green light. See how that went to red and the heater kicked off? Now we turn the auto transfer, or the transformer back on. That went back to green. And now we can turn the heater back on. Okay. That's just to show you what happens. Okay, the heater still works. And this is a GFCI outlet. I had that hooked up. It's the only one on this, out of the group. So we ran our 3 GROWATT inverters up to 70%. That one was at 70% when we had everything on. Now the heater's the only thing on. We're going to go ahead and turn off that breaker also. That was just to test everything. Oh shoot. And I'd left that other 220 heater on, but this one was on too high. So with the with all the loads we had on there, I'd like to see somebody else do it with their setup. So if you guys want to duplicate it, little 1500 watt heater here. Okay. This is not very high wattage. There's only 3 amps. This is 6.5 amps, the Makita router. We forgot the heat gun. We could still do it with the heat gun if you guys would like. We didn't come nowhere close to using all of our power. So here we are. Both of these were on this little router table, the air compressor, the DeWalt router, DeWalt table saw, and the rigid wet dry vac. I'd like to see somebody else do this with their setup. It's a lot more than the amount that Ian ran through his setup and didn't have got to turn the house power back on. Let's see, I don't even think we swapped over to, yeah, I don't even know if we swapped over. I should have checked that. So state of charge 100%. So I don't even think we drew off with the batteries. So any of you guys that want to duplicate this with your setups, you're more than welcome to. The auto transformer, or the, see, now it's down to like 97 degrees. So it never got above 120. It's a midpoint transformer, and you can run a lot more than 5,000 watts through it. You can add up the wattage on all of those. If you would like to know exactly what they are and search it up for yourself, you're more than welcome to. This here is my numbers, and that puts it at over 10,000 watts. And all of it went through the SolarEdge transformer, and it never got above 120 degrees. It actually only went up about 15 degrees, and now it's cooled back off almost immediately. So I didn't do the heat gun. I should get that back on there. Maybe we'll go ahead and let's see, where would we plug that in? Let's turn all these back on again. And actually, we could have the wife hold the let's plug it up. Okay, everything's turned on. We can get Kim to do the saws again.
You know what? You have to redo that everything because you're holding the camera. Your camera was like going everywhere.
Oh.
You're not really.
Okay, we have the Chicago electric router table. The air compressor's on. Cable saw's on. The 3-volt router's on. The vacuum's on. Yeah, you have to hold them. Hey, Mom's got to be the ones in there. You know what, bro? All right. The miter saw and the chop-off saw's on. Come on, Mom. Alright, we're at 42%. Turn this on. What?
Can you? Hold on, please. Jim,
What?
can you stop this for a second?
Why?
Can you stop it?
Yeah.
Alright, guys.
Alright. So we have all this stuff. We're turning all this on. Regular alarm saw, chop saw, the cable router, air compressor, vacuum, the other router, cable saw. These are all on. Okay, the heat gun is on, the heater's on. Turn your things over there on, dude. Turn those on. Don't let that hit something. What about this? You're gonna have to hold it. Alright. So we're only doing about Shoot, it's only showing 61, 62%. About 111 degrees. This is it's doing a lot better than I thought it was gonna. 63%. Getting a little bit warm in here. Anyways, we have 3 more objects running than what we had planned on, and it's doing really well. Anyways, when you're not heating up, I want to show you this. Just wire it right. You know, put everything on a breaker. Go ahead and turn them off. Just put everything on a breaker and wire it up right. It's pretty simple. All the breakers that were that are not going to be in here are all turned off now. And you know, this is why I have these GROWATT inverters. And this transformer never gets hot. It only does the imbalance. All the wattage that ran through there, it was just like, it does not do the wattage. It only does the imbalance. We added an extra router, a small one, and we added the sander, which doesn't take a whole lot of power either. But we were clearly well above that 5,000 watts of power. Okay. So, oh shoot! On that second one, we had the breaker for the house on. Oops. So we were running the house at the same time we did this second test, and so it's pretty cool. This is why I have these GROWATT 5000 ES inverters. You've just seen a whole bunch of power. These are all power tools that we're running. And nothing tripped, nothing kicked. On the earlier demonstration, I actually kicked that off. And you have a GFCI breaker. Your appliance is not gonna short out or burn up or something like that. And we have other overload protection as far as on our TVs and stuff like that. You know, you get the different types of oversurge protection, and then you don't have to worry about it. So no, we're not going to lose a bunch of appliances, and that's why I tripped the SolarEdge transformer and left that one with the GFCI outlet with the heater on it. That way we could see what would happen. And that was a very, very nice. And I would like to see some people that slammed, you know, we had Ian with Watts 24/7 talking about how bad this thing was. Okay. And Will Prowse even, you know, made some very nice comments on there for him. Well, this is a real life situation here. This was about, you know, and if you have your house wired and you do put a bunch of heaters, are you actually going to put them in one room? all your heaters are going to go in one room or on one circuit? No. You're going to have different breakers, and this is a demonstration of that. Oops. I think the light's hitting that. We'll come over here. You say you have your kitchen, your living room, bedroom, garage, and then I have a separate breaker for my refrigerator, separate breaker for my living room, and we have some exterior plug-ins, dining and hallway, bedroom, and another bedroom. Okay, so you're gonna put your different heaters. Say if you're doing something like what Ian with Watts 24/7 did, you would put your heaters in separate rooms. You're not going to put all your heaters in one room. And if you run them all off one circuit breaker, that's not your auto transformer or midpoint transformer's fault. So just wanted to make sure we got this out there and that people could take a look at it. I just ran all these 120 volt appliances and saws, and I would love to see them do this on their system. I know Will Prowse runs 2 of the 6548 inverters from MPP. I would love to see him try and do this. Okay. I mean, if people want to talk about a system set up by somebody else, let's see a demonstration of their own systems. Okay. I even threw on a couple extra items that we didn't have on here, but the inverters were handling it very easily, and the midpoint transformer performed flawlessly. This is why I have this. This is why I believe in this. This system works awesome. This is why I put it in. The system that I got from Watts 24/7 couldn't do this. So, anyways, thank you, Signature Solar. I appreciate a system that will get out there and I can run all my tools. On the second demonstration, I even left the house turned on. So, and that's because on the first one I saw how well it did. I did not do anything beforehand. All I did was I hooked everything up, started them one at a time. That way I could list them on this board just like they are here. And this plug-in here down below is one of these two, and the other one is the lights, and that's the plug-in up here. Okay, that's hooked up to my lights. And these two are about 10 amps between the two of them. So I was good to go on my, most of these are 15 amp breakers. There's some 20 amps that I had that I plan on using elsewhere. And we will go ahead and get that, wired at a different day, and that's for other purposes. But the key is put the right breaker. The breaker will trip, or your GFCI will trip. Should that shut off, your GFCI will protect your appliances. That's the first time I tested that. I put in GFCIs in my house, and I never tested it until today, and performed awesome. Anyways, thank you, and hope to see you guys soon. Please like, comment, and subscribe.